This is the MSI Vector 16HX AI. This is supposed to be MSI's balls-to-the-wall, no-nonsense gaming laptop. But it's priced quite well compared to the competition, so is it worth it? Let's find out. And please like and subscribe if you like these type of videos. From the outside, the Vector 16 is not trying to hide that it's a gaming laptop. It's got big exhaust vents, the MSI logo front and center, and it is, with no exaggeration, very thick. This is actually one of the thickest laptops I've seen so far. It does have a metal top lid, which makes it feel premium and sturdy. And while the rest of the laptop is made of plastic, it feels like it's built very well. Probably because all of that cooling on the inside is holding it together. But this is not really a portable machine. At almost 3 kilograms, you're gonna have a hard time even holding it with one hand. And that has a very good reason, because this thing is packed with high specs. With the fastest current Intel processor and the option to go all the way up to an RTX 5090, the Vector 16 is built to house the best of the best components, full stop. And these parts shouldn't be power limited either. I mean, that 5070 Ti in here has the highest possible TGP. Pair that with 24 cores from that Ultra 9 275HX and, well, I really want to see how this thing performs. For its port selection, MSI went all out, having literally every modern port you can imagine, from Thunderbolt 5 to a full-size SD card slot and even an Ethernet jack. All of this, of course, means that its charger is massive and heavy, because powerful components need lots of power. But it does also support USB-C charging, so a smaller brick now and then is possible. Now let's move on to its keyboard. It has a full per-key RGB backlight, which means you can come up with a lot of cool lighting options. It does have these translucent keys though, which might be a bit tacky to some people. And I personally also prefer the looks of the MSI Stealth keys. Now here's what the keyboard actually feels and sounds like. The keys are a bit shallow and plasticky feeling, but they're still nice to type on. And it even has a numpad on the side, which many people will appreciate. Moving down, we have its trackpad. It's not the biggest of the biggest, but definitely a decent size. And it is made of plastic, but it doesn't feel cheap. And the click itself is actually very nice and feels premium. So overall, this laptop is pretty comfortable to use. Now moving up, we have its display. And with a 2.5K 240Hz IPS panel, this is basically as good as it gets for an LCD screen. It's got great looking, vibrant colors with pretty good contrast, but it's not an OLED, so it doesn't have perfect blacks. However, it doesn't have much backlight bleeding at all, so the blacks do look really good. This display also gets nice and bright at over 500 nits of peak brightness, and 240Hz looks awesome in faster paced games. You really do feel the difference compared to 144Hz. It has a matte display coating, which does handle reflections quite well, but of course you get a bit of glare with it. Now its hinge doesn't go back very far at all, which is a bit of a bummer, but that hinge is damn sturdy and feels like it could take a bullet without breaking. I mean, it doesn't wobble at all and it can easily be opened with one hand. But what about its speakers? Sure, most people play games with their headphones on, but in the event that you don't have them with you, can this thing make some good sound on its own? Well, the Vector 16 actually has some pretty damn good sound. It does only have down-firing speakers, so it definitely sounds muffled, unless you hold your hands behind it like this. And it could definitely be a little louder and have more general clarity. But hell, even for playing games, I'd say they sound pretty good. The Vector 16's microphone is actually pretty high quality, although it does do some aggressive post-processing. The webcam looks pretty good too, but it's definitely grainy. But let's test what everyone's been waiting for, performance. This beast has all the best specs on paper, But does it actually perform well? Well, in Cinebench R23, it absolutely does. Getting one of the highest single-core scores, and actually the highest multi-core score I have ever seen on a laptop. And in 3D Mark TimeSpy, it keeps on crushing it. Getting, again, the highest GPU score we have ever seen for a 5070 Ti, which is really damn impressive. So it's clear that this laptop is absolutely pumping its components with enough power, which makes it ridiculously fast. But this was just in benchmarks. We need to see if it can actually sustain those high power limits in actual real-world use. And this is a gaming laptop after all. So let's see how it performs in some actual games.
What did you do, man? No!
So yes, especially in games, the Vector 16 performs really well. In both CPU and GPU intensive games, it achieved high, stable frame rates, even at its high native resolution of 1600p, and it didn't break a sweat. And that's all because under the hood, it wasn't power limited at all. Even though the RTX 5070 Ti is only rated to go up to like 140 watts, this laptop can actually sustain way higher than that. And it frequently did in heavy games like Cyberpunk. So be it in the heaviest of applications or the newest of games, I don't think this guy is gonna have any trouble with it. But does that mean that it runs very hot or very loud? Because more power means more heat. Well, it has two power profiles in which it runs a little bit differently. The extreme performance one and the balanced one. In the extreme performance profile, the CPU definitely did run on the hot side, frequently reaching peaks of up to 100 degrees. But its GPU stayed perfectly cooled, not even getting close to its thermal limits at any point. But in that balanced profile, the CPU stayed considerably cooler, but the GPU did reach its thermal limits a lot, so it actually started throttling a bit. Now, why would you choose that balanced profile over the extreme performance one? Well, fan noise. The extreme performance profile is ridiculously loud. Like concerningly loud. My little brother actually entered my room and asked if everything was alright when he heard this. That balance profile is way quieter, but it runs a little slower because the GPU is being bottlenecked by its temperatures. I would recommend just putting it on the extreme performance profile and getting a good pair of noise-cancelling headphones. What also kind of sucks is that the fans are basically always on, even if you're not doing anything on the laptop. Now, gaming laptops aren't exactly known for their long battery life, but it is nice to know how long it would last. So I tested it in two different scenarios, under light use and during gaming. In the light use scenario, I played a YouTube video until its battery died, with its display at 80% brightness, at 60 Hz, and with its dedicated GPU turned off. And like expected, it didn't last very long at all. The Ultra 9275HX in here is made for performance, not for efficiency. And since real-world battery life, you know, when you're actually using your laptop, is quite a bit shorter, I wouldn't trust this thing to last a full school day. Now in the gaming test, I played Battlefield 1 until its battery died, with the same settings as before. And of course, it didn't even last an hour. Don't get a gaming laptop if you want to play games on the go. Get a gaming handheld. Now with it being a thick device, does it have a lot of space for upgradable parts? Well, thankfully, yes, it does. It has fully upgradable RAM with 2 easily accessible SODIMM slots. It has one Gen 4 M.2 SSD slot and one Gen 5, so storage upgrades are very easy. And it even has a Wi-Fi card slot, which could be handy in the future. So far, this laptop sounds like a great package, but how much does it cost? Well, in Europe, it's pretty steadily available around 1,800 to 2,000 bucks, which is actually decently priced for a 5070 Ti laptop. And in America, it's pretty similar, being around the 1,800 to 1,900 bucks mark. But there is actually an even cheaper model available with an Ultra 7 instead of an Ultra 9. And this one probably has the best value so far. I'll post the Amazon links for all of these models down below for if you're interested. Alright, let's get to a conclusion. Is the MSI Vector 16 worth it? I would say yes, it's a great laptop. This is a high-performance, balls-to-the-wall gaming laptop, in every sense of the way. It achieves basically the highest performance for both its CPU and GPU out of any laptop I've tested so far. And yes, it does run a little on the warm side and makes some crazy fan noise, especially in that extreme performance profile. And all in all, it's definitely more of a portable desktop than a laptop. I mean, it's a real brick in terms of size and weight. So if you want a portable machine, do not get this laptop, because it is anything but portable. But if you want a no-nonsense, blazing fast gaming laptop that runs everything you throw at it, yeah, I would buy it. But is it better than the laptop with the best option from AMD? The Asus Strix G16 has the fastest laptop processor in the world, and it is also a balls-to-the-wall gaming laptop. So how does it compare to the Vector 16? Well, let's find out in the next video, where I'll be putting those two head-to-head in full detail. Now let me give a huge shout out to my YouTube members. Soundwife, Thomas, Inky, Mr. Frosty Dude, Dropzone1, Martijn Snijkers, Flimsy, Aki, Disco Volante, Mr. Nuke, Sebastian, Christian Sands, Real Elf, Eric the Red, Wesley Rhodes, Michael, Ghostdata, Anugadar, Abdullah, and Lewis. If you become a YouTube member, you get early access to content of mine, a shout out at the end of every video, and you'll also be supporting me as a creator to make these videos. And of course, you'll also be part of the Cool Guys Club, so you can use cool emojis like these in the comment section. So join the club if you're interested. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.
For a minute. Oh man, I found a candy bar. Whoop. Oh!